Thank you. Welcome. We're just about to start. All right. So we're going to come to seated. That seems to be where I'm being called to lately, is to start our practice seated. And we'll just come to easy pose. Welcome, Kirsten. Welcome, Hannah. I'm already started recording, so please just keep yourself muted if that'd be great. And then we'll just find any easy pose right now in any mudra that works for us. So maybe just bringing your hand to your heart. Or maybe it's palms facing up, whatever you feel like you need right now. Without me having to direct you of what type of breath to move through right now, I just want you to just simply breathe. Change it from your day-to-day breath. Making it very mindful of the length of the breath, or being very mindful of the length of the breath. And deliberately focusing on in through the nose and maybe out of the mouth. Just changing it up from what we would do on our day-to-day task. And if you have your hand on your heart, bring that hand down and bring the opposite hand to your belly. Breathing into our Manipura, our solar plexus. Then bring both hands to face down on top of your knees or your thighs. And without me having to guide you of what to think about right now, I just want you to embrace this time right now of silence. And see what comes to the surface for you. When I sat in my own meditation yesterday, I'll just share an experience. What came to the surface for me was having gratitude for my family, and in particular, my mom. So when we start to pause and find some stillness, and finally get rid of the clutter and just allow whatever needs to come to the surface, be present. So you're welcome to either piggyback on that idea of gratitude or really focus on what comes up for you. And I'm going to continue with that own intention for this practice today of gratitude for my family and for all of the parts in my life that make up me, and that they had a part in doing that. So if you're using that intention, send that love out from Anahata, from your heart. Start to walk our right hand out to the side of our mat and reach that left arm over. And then we'll lift to center, and left hand's gonna walk out all the way as far as it can, reaching that right arm over. Let's do that again. Inhale to center. Exhale, reach. Now try not to press off with the hand. Use the core. Inhale to center. Exhale, reach. Inhale and exhale. And moving from side to side. You get to gauge how much depth you want here. How far you wish to extend through the side of the body. And also don't forget to protect that lower back. I say it like a broken record every class, but your lower back is a mirror of your abdominals. So think about engaging both spaces as we move through this. That same physical awareness as if you're about to come into a crunch where you're going to engage in your core. So as we move from side to side, we're protecting that lower back. Now start to pick it up a little bit. The practice is called slow the flow to get away from those everyday worries. So use this time now to connect with breath and use this movement to maybe push through or release any frustrations from the day. So now start to have your exhales out the mouth. Moving from side to side and start to make it more fluid, more dance-like. So inhale at center, exhale to side to side. Don't forget to snap the navel into the spine to protect the lower back. If you skip a breath, that's okay. Just keep breathing, move through it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Soften the shoulders back and down. Maybe roll through the shoulders a few times. I'm gonna have to go watch that recording after and see what my dance actually looked like. I have a feeling it looked like a little bit of a monkey. That's okay. Gotta have a little bit of play and fun with our practice, right? So let's lift the shoulders up towards the ears and scrunch them up. And then exhale, roll the shoulders back and lift your heart and actually bring the palms back as well. Let's do that again. Hands to our thighs, squeeze the shoulders, lift them up to the ears, roll them back and down, lift with the heart, open up, press your palms back. And one more time like that, lift the shoulders up, feels a bit of tension. Exhale, soften, palms face forward, press back as if someone's pressing your palms back for you. And then exhale, our hands down. If you are seated on blocks with me, just remove them so that our sit bones can come fully to the mat. Let's take a gentle twist to the right. So bring our right hand back, our left hand on top of our knee or thigh. Breathing back low into the belly. If we've lost that intention of our breath, and then nice and slowly, we'll twist to the left, just taking our hands behind us again, left hand to the back, right hand on top of the knee or thigh. And then we'll come back to center and find our way into table. Just so we can come out of that compression, you can either move through a cat and cow or join me and lift up to down dog. Find a bit more length in your spine from the tailbone up to the crown. And we're going to walk our hands. We'll keep the legs where they're at. Walk your hands over towards the right edge of your mat, pressing your left hip away. So your right palm might actually come off of the mat. Now from here, you're going to lower your knees down. The arms can still stay long. Untuck your toes, sit back on your heels. Press your left hip over towards the long edge of your mat. Finding more space from the shoulder blade to the hip. And we'll walk our hands back to center, roll to table, and then lift up to down dog. So the feet are going to stay at center. We're going to walk our hands over to the left. So left palm's going to come off the mat. Hands are still aligned with our shoulders. We're pressing our right hip towards that opposite edge. Really root through your heels here. Find those hamstrings. Then we'll lower the knees down, untuck the toes, sit back on the heel. Just finding that stretch to the right side. Walk our hands back to center. Roll up to tabletop. Now fully move through those cats and cows. We'll come back over to the left again. We'll walk our hands over to that left side. Hands down our shoulders, dip the belly, lift the heart, finding that cat and cow with a little twist now. Tuck your chin to chest, round your spine. 2 more sets like that, lifting the heart, arching the back. Tuck your chin to chest, round the spine, find your cat. 1 more, lifting the heart, arching the back. And then tucking our chin to chest. Coming back to neutral tabletop, sit back on your heels again, just like we did from our down dog. Press your right hip over towards the right edge of your mat. Find a bit more space through the side of the ribs. And if you want more this time, pick up the right hand, cross it over the left, and then pull the mat or the floor towards you. So we're finding that bit of compression on the left side from our ribs to our hip. And we're sending our right hip over to that long edge of our mat. But we're still keeping our weight even in the hips and the glutes. Lots of lateral stretches today, finding space through the side of the body. Little tuck of the chin to chest, we'll roll up, we'll walk ourselves over towards the other edge of our mat. Finding those cats and cows, lifting the heart, arching the back. Tucking the chin, rounding our spine. Lifting the heart, dropping the belly. Tucking the chin, finding your cat. And then lifting through crown. 1 more round of your cow pose. Round the spine, cat. Neutralize the spine, send your sit bones back. Sit on top of your heels. This time we'll cross our left palm over our right. And then we'll bring ourselves back to center. Move through your cats and cows again. Okay, we're gonna walk to the back of our mat. So walk your hands to our thighs, tuck your toes, and start to come to a standing forward fold at the back of your mat. Walking your hands over towards the left edge of our mat, looking over our shoulder. Coming to center, lengthening the spine as we look forward. And then exhale, fold, walk over towards the right, look over the shoulder or whatever is accessible. So we're leading with chest. And then we'll come back to neutral. Inhale, lengthen, look forward. Exhale, fold. Roll all the way up to stand. Big sweep of the arms overhead and then exhale our hands to heart. Step your right foot forward. Setting up for warrior A, step your back foot in and closer. Front knee is going to press to the outer edge. We're going to line up our hips. Take your arms to cactus, squeezing your shoulder blades back. We'll exhale our hands to our heart. Step forward and find Samastiti. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to hips. Right foot steps back, finding warrior A on the other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, soften into your goddess arms, squeezing those elbows back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to hips. Step forward, Samastiti. We're going to move through this from side to side. Left foot steps back. Warrior A. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, goddess arms. Soften shoulders. Squeeze the shoulders back. Press your palms back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to hips. Step forward. Switch sides. Right foot steps back. Find warrior A. Inhale, arms. Exhale, squeeze into goddess. And we're staying here for a few breaths. Inhale, arms. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to hips. Step forward. Left foot steps back. This time right to warrior B. So it's aligned with the short edge of our mat. Arms extend. Palms active. Lengthen the front leg. Inhale. Exhale, land into warrior B. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, land. One more. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, land. Inhale, reach the back of the mat. Exhale, come to neutral. Inhale, reach. Exalted warrior. Exhale back. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Hands to hips. Step to the top of your mat. Samastiti. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to hips. Right foot steps back. Land into warrior B. Extend the arms. Front leg is going to lengthen. Inhale. Exhale.
Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend that knee. One more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. Now we're going to reach the back of the mat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to exalted. Exhale back to warrior B. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Hands to your hips. Step forward. And we'll switch sides. Left foot steps back. So back to that motion of dancing it out. If we come back into that exalted warrior, don't jump into that back leg. Protect the spine. All right. Inhale, lengthen that front leg. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. One more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, land warrior B. Inhale, flip the palm. Reach to exalted. We're going to pause here, but grab that top wrist. Find a bit more space for the side of the body. Releasing the hands, but we're going to reach forward over top of that front thigh. You can always rest the forearm or reach for your beach ball. 2 breaths. Now start to lengthen your front leg. Use your core to lift up. We're going to reach right back into that exalted warrior with the leg extended. Keep the leg long. Lift back with the torso. Reach forward, finding Trikonasana, triangle pose. So resting your hand to the inside of your ankle or your calf or your inner thigh, as long as you're not dumping all the way down. Look up to that extended palm. Looking forward, bend into your front knee, lifting back to warrior B, pause. Step up to the top of your mat, Samasthiti. All right, let's hope I remember all that on the other side. Right foot steps back, land into warrior B. We did the first. Lengthen with that leg. Exhale, land. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, land. One more. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, land into your Virabhadrasana. Reach the back of your mat. Grabbing the wrist. I hope this was right. It's okay. I'll figure it out in a second. Inhale, reach back to center, reach forward. Option to rest that forearm or reach for our beach ball for 2 breaths. Lengthening the front leg, reaching all the way to the back for a mat. Option to grab the wrist or rest that hand down for exalted. Again, avoiding too much compression in the back here, using the core to keep you lifted. Front leg is going to stay long. We'll lift to center, reach forward, and then finding Trikonasana. Looking to your big toe, bend into your knee, lifting yourself back up to warrior B. Exhale, step up, Samasthiti. One version of Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Stepping yourself back into tabletop. Lowering to your belly with your chaturanga. And then lifting the heart for a baby cobra. Pressing back to a child's pose or down dog. And we'll walk back to our feet, back to the back of our mat, like we did earlier from table. Inhale, halfway lift the core. Exhale, fold. Walk your hands over towards the left. The right hand is going to stay down. Right knee is going to bend. This time we're going to lengthen the left hamstrings, reach that left arm up to the sky. So whatever version you twist it towards, we're extending that hand
It should feel as if those hips are getting pulled up to the sky. Beautiful. Exhale the hand down from the center. Inhale, lengthen, look forward. Exhale, fold. Walk over to the right. Left knee is going to bend, left hand stays down, or you can always bring it to a block. Right hamstrings long, right arm reaches. Lift a little taller through the right hip. Keep bending into the left knee. And then exhale that hand down. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, forward fold. We'll come all the way up to stand. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale, hands to heart. Step your right foot forward. Then bring your weight into your front leg. We're going to step into our tree pose. So our foot's going to come either to the inner thigh or to the ankle or to the calf. You could always use your yoga block. If you are practicing your tree, another option is foot on block, opening up the knee. And then get taller from the tailbone up to your calf. So we're trying to avoid pressing the foot on the knee. Bring the foot to the calf, the ankle, or the inner thigh. Seems like we're all about those cactus arms or goddess arms today. Squeeze your shoulders blades. Lift your heart. And then we'll exhale our hands to our hips and we'll step that foot down. Just going to switch sides. So if you're using your block, you can just slide it over, weight into your left leg, right set of toes to the block or the earth, and then bringing that foot to the calf, inner thigh, ankle or block, pressing the knee to the back of our mat, get tall out of the spine, take the arms up, growing your tree. Our balance should be coming from our core, from our gut. So bring your focus there. That's your drishti. Exhale the hands down first and then bring that foot back, finding your samasthiti. Maybe take a moment here to come back to your intention. Okay, we're going to find our way either to a standing forward fold at the top of our mat or facing the long edge of your mat if you have the space, taking your feet out nice and wide. We're going to come to our forward fold. So bring our hands down to the block or the earth. And you can either rest your hands down or interlace them behind your spine and then lift them off the lower back to open up the shoulders. And we'll exhale, we'll come back to our forward fold with the hands down. We're going to come right back to the mat. So maybe heel toe your feet a little closer in if you're in that wide forward fold, and continue to face the long edge of your mat if that's accessible for you, and then come down to your tabletop. We'll move our props off. Unless you have a blanket or a bolster, I might recommend placing it in front of you. So we're going to come to our table, and then from our table, we'll come into our straddle, taking our left leg out to the side. We'll line up our right hand so that it's aligned with the navel, and then take your left arm up. So open through the chest here. Exhale, bring that hand right to that midline, right underneath the navel. Reach your right arm out to the side, and then rotate with the chest. Exhale the hand down to center. Left arm reaches up, open the chest. This time you can take a little windmill with that top arm. Only if it feels good for your shoulder. If not, you can just extend that arm up to the sky. And then left hand's gonna come right back down. Right arm's going to reach out to the side. Instead of rotating with your shoulder, roll through your wrist as you reach that short edge of your mat. Now from here, reach that right arm underneath the left. As we set up for our rolling panda, this is where you might want to place your head down on a blanket or a bolster. A bolster might actually be too tall. So we've gone from here, right hand extends, it reaches underneath the left. We're going to bring our temple to the earth. You can bring your left hand to brace, or if the bolster is keeping you too tall, bring the cheek to the earth. Left hand can even come to the small of the back if you like. Working into the hamstrings of that extended leg, and working into the back of the shoulder of the right side. And if you have the hand on the small of the back, bring it back to the ground. Help press you up, unweaving that arm, sliding that leg in, moving through your counter pose of your cats and your cows. And then we'll come back to our neutral table, and we'll set up on the other side. So right leg is going to lengthen, toes point, left hand's going to stay on the earth, reaching that right arm up. We're starting with stillness, stacking our shoulders, they're aligned with each other. Looking up to the fingertips or to the side of the room, feeling that openness of the heart. And we'll exhale, bring that hand right underneath the navel. Left arm is going to reach out. Reach your fingertips and then rotate with the chest. Exhale that hand down. Right arm's going to reach up to the sky and then big circles with that top arm. Exhale that hand right back to center. Left arm reaches out, roll through the wrist. And then reaching that arm underneath that space. We're coming to that rolling panda, coming to the side of the temple or the cheek. The right arm can reach up to the sky and come to small the back, or it can be underneath the shoulder for support. You have the hand in the small of the back, bring it back underneath the shoulder to help press you up. Sliding that knee in and either coming to cat and cow, you can come back to the top of the mat, or you might even want to come into a down dog and pedal it out. All right, and then once you got some play there, we'll come to seated. I always love adding this variation in for our butterfly if you have props at home, and if you don't need to use them. But if you like, you can bring your blocks side by side at the top of your mat and bring your feet on top of your blocks so that your legs are making this diamond shape in your bound angle. You could also bring a hand in front and a hand behind and sit yourself closer to your blocks, or don't use the blocks and just keep your feet together. We'll sit up nice and tall in the spine. You can bring peace fingers around the big toes or to the edges of the feet as long as you're not lifting and grounding back or adding stress to the ankles. And then find a forward fold here in your butterfly bounding. We'll stay for 2 more breaths and breathing into the back of the shoulders. And rolling out of butterfly, pressing our blocks away. You can bring your heels to the ground and take a little seated windshield wiper if you like, or you can take your legs out long and come to forward fold. And then we're gonna set up for half lotus. I will come back on mat so you can see me. Option 1 is going to be crossing the ankle over, starting on the left side and pressing our knee down. If the ankle cross doesn't feel good, bring the foot to the inner thigh instead and reach for that extended leg. Or option 2, a different variation. If you wanted to come into more of that half straddle, we could bring our heel towards our bum and sit on top, or bring the top of the foot to the ground. You can sit to the inside of your ankle, or for some of us, we want to sit on top of that heel, and then you can reach forward, or you could even come with the hands back. So those are your options today, wherever you like to be. Be that half lotus with getting the open to the side of the mat, or it could be in straddle with the heel tucked under. So both variations are either going to work on the hamstrings or work on opening the hip and glute. Remember, you could always incorporate your props. They can even be there to frame your extended leg. We'll slowly either roll out of it to switch sides, or just uncross that leg, switch sides. Your choice again, bending that knee or crossing the ankle. If you've chosen the half lotus with the ankle cross, you can even gently press the knee down to the ground. We'll stay for 2 more breaths. Finding your way out. Finish with a forward fold, sitting up tall in the spine, reaching arms, allowing them to rest wherever they can to your Paschimottanasana, forward fold. As you roll out of forward fold, bring your sit bones to the center of your mat. You can keep your heels on the earth for Navasana, or you could lift the legs up, hands can support. You can extend the legs, whatever works for you. If your lower back is bothering you, I really recommend feet wide, heels to the ground, lifting the heart, and then reclining back, just holding here, using the legs for support, or your choice to lift the heels. I'm going to stay here, shoulders back, lift with sternum, engaging that lower back again. We're going to hold for 6. And then slowly lower yourself down onto your spine. Arms can be extended or they can come behind. Finding your way onto your mat or your Shavasana. Maybe arms extended overhead or down by your sides. We'll come back to that focus of the solar plexus. For some of us, we might relate to the space of our place of power. Our place of our gut health. And our place where our body tells us when something is out of alignment. It could reside as stress, anxiety, fear, excitement. And it's your body's way of telling you that something needs to change. Can you relate to this feeling or sensation? And what do you do when that feeling comes up? There's no right or wrong answer with this, but just asking yourself that question. And maybe inquiring if there's something that you would do differently. The tips and tricks we take from our practice could be the reminder to sit and be with our breath, to sit and be mindful of our thoughts, or for some of us to go as far as meditating. But if you don't feel like you have the time and space to do that when this comes up for you, it can be just a reminder by placing the palm on your belly, just above the navel, into that solar plexus space. And listening in a little closer and focusing on the temperature of your palm to your belly. Focusing on the depth of your breath. And tuning into your subtle body's thoughts and messages. Seeing what comes up for you. You hold that power. And you hold these tools right in your front pocket. Maybe you want to look at our solar plexus as a little pocket or pouch, like a mom stores her baby kangaroo. That safe space right there. Breathing deep into the belly. Feeling the belly rise and fall with your breath. Om. 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 Om Shanti Shanti. Om. Closing your practice with a big inhale through the nose and a big exhale out of the mouth. Know that you can find your voice and use this practice of our own to find a reset in your day, find vibration in your body, vibration in your heart, and to give a little gentle, nurturing wake up to your soul. You can move your fingers and toes now by wiggling or scrunching them up. And finding your way to seated, whether it's bringing knees to chest, rolling to one side, or gently rocking up, as long as it's safe for your spine to do so. And then we'll meet at seated. We'll close our practice the same way we started, with a hand to the heart. Breathing into your heart space. Taking whatever intention or affirmation that you set with you. Thumbs to Anja Chakra for intuition, to Vishuddha for speaking our truth, to Anahata for compassion. Thank you all for being part of this community. Have a great rest of your evening. Namaste.